what connects the creation of the world, the Exodus from Egypt, and the Mount Sinai experience? The answer is you. You connect all three of them. How is that? There are 10 aspects to all of those three events. The world was spoken into creation by God with 10 statements. Egypt, the oppressive nation, was destroyed with 10 plagues, and the revelation of the divine will at Mount Sinai was with 10 commandments. 10 is something woven into the fabric of creation, and that is because God has 10 Sefirot, 10 divine attributes which he put into the world, and you are no exception. The human being also has those 10 divine attributes inside them. So let's learn about what that means to have these 10 things inside us. Now, just to introduce them briefly, and hopefully we'll go into more depth over time, the 10 are Chochmah, which they translate as wisdom, Bina, understanding, Da'at, which is connection or knowledge. Then you have Chesed, which is kindness, Gevura, which is strength or might, Tiferet, which is harmony, balance. Then you have Netzach, which is victory or eternity, Hod, which is splendor, Yesod, which is foundation, and then finally Malchut, which is kingship. However, even though there's 10 overall, you could really break them down into two: the mind and the character. The first three, Chochmah, Bina, Dat, make up the mind, and the other 7 make up your character. So what does that mean? It means that even though you have all these 10 things inside you, there are really 2 groups, and there's meant to be an alignment between the 2 of those. Your mind is meant to align with your character. If a person is very wise, they're meant to also be very good as a person. Now, the thing which bothers us is, why do we not always see that? Why does it not always work out that way? That the people who are very clever and thinking very much and learning a lot, sometimes they become great people, and sometimes they basically remain the same average or maybe even less than that people. So why is it, if there's these aspects to us, your mind and your character, and they're meant to align with one another, so why doesn't it always work that way? So in order to do that, we're going to need to understand a bit more about our mind. We're going to have to take a journey inside our own heads. So as we mentioned, it's 3 of these Sefirot, 3 of these divine attributes which make up our mind: Chochmah, Bina, and Da'at. Chochmah is, we translate it as wisdom, but really what it is, it's about taking in information. Bina is about analyzing that information, thinking about it, thinking about the reasons, thinking about the consequences, the implications. And thirdly, Da'at is about making the connection between your mind and your life. So what actually is happening for these individuals, where there is a disconnect between the mind and the character, is that they haven't worked on their Da'at properly. They have taken in a lot of information, they have thought about it, they may be geniuses, they may be very, very learned, they may have analysed it and understand all the reasons behind everything, but there's this crucial third factor called Da'at, which means taking that information and doing something specific to make it meaningful in your life. That's something which they may not have done. So what does it mean to make such a connection? Now, it's really something that we all got to do, right? So what does it mean to make such a connection? So you can do it in all kinds of ways. One thing is very practical. You could take that information and think about where that might come up in the course of your day, or where that kind of thing comes up in the world. So to take it kind of like off the pages of the book and into the world. That's one option. Another option that some people like to do is to make personal commitments. They see information that they've learned, maybe they're even inspired by it, and they say, now I want to make it part of my life. I'm going to commit to doing this very small, manageable thing. And by doing so, they're actually bridging the gap between the mind and the lived experience. And a third thing which you can do is basically whatever is meaningful to you. So for example, for me, music is very meaningful to me. Music is a way that I'm able to connect to all kinds of things. So for me, something that I like to do, if I learn something and I want to make it a part of me, what I like to often make up like a small song based on it, and I kind of like sing it to myself as like a jingle throughout the day. And in doing so, that's something which is taking it from the realm of the mere intellect and making it something which is meaningful and workable every day for me. So it doesn't necessarily matter how you do it, but you need to take that thing that you've learned, learn it well, take the thing that you've learned, and then make that connection to your life. With that, there will indeed be an alignment between the mind and the character, between those first 3 and the latter 7 Sefirot. So that's it. Sounds very scary, 10 divine attributes, but the truth is they're very approachable if we break them down. We start broad, and we say that there's really 2 groups. There's the first 3, which are the mind, the latter 7, which are the character. How do those work together? So it's meant to be that the mind gives birth to the character, and the way that works is you learn and you build your mind and you think about things and contemplate them, and then you make that connection. And we have that da'at, and with that, really the sky's the limit. Personal growth can be accessible at any time, at any place, for every single one of us.